My grandma had cancer, but no one wanted to pay for treatment until they found out about her millions. Grandma had cancer, but no one in the family wanted to pay for her treatment. Uncle Robert kicked her out. My parents told her to accept her fate. Aunt Patricia's husband cursed, asking why she wasn't dead yet. Only I visited her secretly, bringing groceries and saving money to fix her broken heater. Then Grandma revealed her inheritance. Not only did she own a Victorian mansion in San Francisco worth millions, but she also knew where priceless antiques were hidden. My relatives instantly transformed, treating her like royalty, practically carrying her on their shoulders. But when she died, she left something for every relative except me. Chapter 1. I was heading home for Thanksgiving when everyone else refused to go. Mom even snapped at me, "Why visit that dying old woman? She can't give you a cent." My brother Marcus sprawled on the couch playing video games while Dad scrolled through his phone, pretending not to hear. Ever since Grandma's cancer diagnosis, the family treated her like bad luck. But thinking of her kind face, I couldn't leave her alone in that old house. "Dad, you're not going either. Maybe we should ask Uncle Robert and Aunt Linda. Grandma's been living with them." Dad waved me off irritably. "Stop bothering me. Whoever wants to go can go. I'm busy." Helplessly, I remembered Uncle Robert. Before Grandma got sick, she'd been caring for his grandkids. Surely they'd visit. I called Uncle Robert. After several rings, he finally answered. But hearing I wanted to visit Grandma, he immediately said he was unavailable. "Linda and I can't make it. We're watching the grandkids. Besides, your grandma's not paralyzed. She doesn't need babysitting." He hung up abruptly. Aunt Patricia had already posted in the family group chat, taking the kids to Hawaii for Thanksgiving. Won't make it back this year. My chest tightened with anger. This wasn't how they acted before. Grandma got sick. Grandma had been a factory worker in her youth, sharp and capable. She'd raised all us grandkids single-handedly. My parents had dumped me with Grandma to focus on having Marcus. If Grandma hadn't insisted on registering me for school and getting my documents sorted, I'd probably be undocumented. Grandma treated all her grandchildren equally, spending her pension on treats and necessities for us first. Back then, Uncle Robert, Dad, and Aunt Patricia fought over who got to have Grandma live with them. Grandma was neat, cooked amazingly, and was educated. Having her was like having a free premium housekeeper. Until she got sick and couldn't help anymore. Then everyone changed. But she was still my grandma. If they wouldn't go, I would. I found Grandma in the backyard pulling weeds from her vegetable garden. She'd lost so much weight I could see her cheekbones jutting out, her eyes sunken deep, her whole body like a skeleton. My nose stung with tears. Grandma heard the gate and looked up. "Lily, what are you doing here? Come inside, it's freezing." As she raised her hand to wave, I saw her coat was torn at the armpit, white stuffing poking through. Fighting tears, I carried the groceries inside. The house was freezing. Everyone had central heating now, but Grandma still relied on an old space heater that barely worked. She couldn't afford to run the AC unit I'd bought her, and her only warmth came from hot water bottles in bed. Grandma worried I was cold and immediately made me a hot water bottle. Cough, cough. "I thought none of you were coming back this winter. Where are your parents?" Looking at her hopeful eyes, I couldn't bear to tell the truth. I lied that they were working overtime. Grandma said nothing more, just cooked me a feast. But right after dinner, when Grandma insisted on washing dishes, I tried to take over. She refused. "Cough. You barely visit. Just sit. Cough, cough, cough." Her coughing grew violent, her face reddening. Until she coughed up blood and collapsed like a rag doll. I froze in shock before calling 911. The nearest hospital was 45 minutes away by car. After calling the ambulance, I frantically called Dad. No answer. I recorded a video for the family group chat, begging them to come help. The usually active group went dead silent. Thankfully, neighbors helped me get Grandma to the hospital. After a night of emergency treatment, Grandma stabilized. But the doctor gave me the worst news: the cancer had progressed rapidly. She had a month at most. I held back tears and notified the family. In the group chat, I wrote, "Grandma doesn't have much time. When are you coming to the hospital?" No response. 10 minutes later, I added, "Grandpa died young. Grandma raised you all alone. Now she's dying and you won't even visit?" Finally, Uncle Robert sent a long voice message, cursing, "Who asked you to interfere? You stupid girl, what do you know? Should we drain our savings for a terminal illness?" Aunt Patricia chimed in, "Exactly. I have 2 sons to raise. School fees, tutoring, extracurricular everything costs money. I'm telling you, we have no money for her hospital bills. Take her home immediately." Dad's call came next, furious. "Who told you to take her to the hospital? You have money for her treatment. Don't come crying to me for cash. If you're so capable, pay for it yourself." I choked back sobs, shouting, "I'll pay. I'll work multiple jobs to pay for Grandma's treatment. You're all heartless." Mom grabbed the phone. "What are you trying to prove? You think you're the only one with a conscience? If they won't help, why should you? Get back here now." The call ended. I felt a gentle touch on my face. Looking up, I saw Grandma was awake, wiping my tears. Her voice was weak. "Lily, don't cry. Grandma has money. I'll make them come back." I thought she was joking until I actually found a bank account with over $1 million in her old dresser drawer back home. Grandma called them one by one, personally transferring 20,000 to each family, saying more would come if they visited the hospital. Uncle Robert and Aunt Linda arrived first. The moment they entered, Uncle Robert thrust his grandson into Grandma's arms. "Mom, the baby missed you so much. We've been wanting to bring you home to stay with us." Aunt Linda smiled obsequiously. "Mom, just call if you need anything. Though the kid's starting private school soon, and tuition is quite high." Grandma smiled. "No problem. I have money." Their smiles widened as they fussed over her, pouring water and adjusting pillows. My parents arrived second, bearing fruit baskets and flowers, all smiles. "Mom, thank goodness Lily was here. We were planning to come together but got stuck in traffic. Ugh, my car's ancient. Hard to take you anywhere nice in that old thing." Dad looked at Grandma expectantly. Grandma kept smiling. "You should get a new one." Uncle Robert urgently asked, "Mom, exactly how much money do you have?" "Not rushing. Let's wait for Patricia." Aunt Patricia, supposedly in Hawaii, took a red-eye flight and arrived at the hospital. She burst in wailing dramatically. "Mom, how are you? When I heard you collapsed, I abandoned my vacation immediately." "Mom, that flight from Hawaii cost thousands." Grandma nodded. "I'll reimburse you. I called you all here to discuss my final arrangements. Since we missed Thanksgiving dinner, let's have a family meal now." Grandma pulled out a large bag from under the bed, $940,000 in neat stacks of cash. Everyone's eyes lit up, staring greedily at the red bills, desire naked on their faces. "Here, Lily, take 100,000 first. Go order us a nice dinner." Grandma placed 10 stacks in my hands. Dad immediately snatched them. "She's just a kid. What does she know about ordering food?" "Mom, I'll handle it." Uncle Robert and Aunt Patricia's eyes followed the money, both wanting their share. Grandma zipped the bag back up. "This is just a small portion. Who gets the rest depends on your behavior." Uncle Robert immediately asked, "Mom, where did all this money come from? What else is there?" Grandma looked at him coolly. "Why so eager?" Uncle Robert said awkwardly, "I'm just worried. If something happens to you quickly, strangers might get the inheritance." Aunt Patricia hugged Grandma's arm. "Robert, that's terrible. Are you wishing Mom dead?" Uncle Robert's face darkened, glaring at Aunt Patricia. Grandma explained, "You might not know this, but your grandfather was originally from San Francisco. He moved here to escape some trouble. His family had a Victorian mansion in Pacific Heights. Before leaving, he hid some antique porcelain pieces. This money was what your grandfather left behind. He said I could only tell you when I was dying. Whoever's most filial gets everything." The room's atmosphere shifted dramatically. Aunt Patricia clutched Grandma, sobbing, "Mom, you always loved me most. Seeing you so thin breaks my heart." Uncle Robert brought hot water for a foot soak. "Mom, you always washed our feet as kids. Now it's my turn." Dad brought food to the bedside. "Mom, your favorite chicken soup. Don't get up, let me feed you." Grandma paid for a VIP hospital suite where the family had their reunion dinner. Watching them play Happy Family, I felt sick. They were only here for Grandma's money. I couldn't believe Grandma didn't see through them. Yet Grandma cheerfully enjoyed this bought affection. Everyone competed to care for Grandma. Uncle Robert even told me to go home. "Lily, 3 people from your family is too many. You should leave." Aunt Patricia agreed. "Yes, you have school after break. We've got this." But Mom blocked me. "Why should she leave? Our Lily's been caring for Mom all along. If anyone deserves that Victorian mansion, it's us." Aunt Patricia snapped. "Based on what? Who knows her real motives for helping? Probably just after the money." I couldn't hold back. "That's rich coming from you, Aunt Patricia. Weren't you in Hawaii? Now suddenly you're devoted? Who's really after money here?" Aunt Patricia flushed red, grabbing my arm viciously. "Watch your mouth, little girl. My vacation is none of your business. She's my mother, of course I'd come. Stop fighting. That mansion belongs to none of you. I'm the eldest son, it's rightfully mine." As they argued, Dad suddenly had a thought. What if there's no mansion or antiques? What if Mom's lying to us? Everyone fell silent. Uncle Robert looked suspicious. I wondered too. But where did all that cash come from if it's not real? Aunt Patricia turned on me. "Lily, you're closest to Grandma. Go ask her exactly where this Victorian is, if there's a deed." No need to ask the child. I brought the deed. Grandma walked in wearing her hospital gown, slapping the property deed on the table. Her thin wrist now wore a translucent jade bracelet. "This bracelet is one of the antiques your grandfather left. Now do you believe me?" Everyone looked embarrassed, quickly affirming they believed her. Chapter 2. Grandma wanted to go home after a few days. The usually shabby old house had been transformed into something luxurious and warm. Every family member, young and old, had come. The cold house was bustling for the first time. Grandma wore new clothes, though nothing fit her skeletal frame properly anymore. She smiled constantly, keeping everyone guessing her thoughts. But Grandma was unusually generous this year, granting every request the grandchildren made. Marcus wanted the latest iPhone, Cousin Jessica wanted a laptop, Cousin Tyler wanted a new car. Grandma agreed to everything, making everyone love her more. Later, Grandma asked me privately, holding me close, "What does our Lily want?" "Whatever it is, Grandma will make it happen." Her arms were so thin, holding me felt like being embraced by sticks. I wiped away tears secretly. Grandma, I want you healthy and living long. Grandma laughed softly, stroking my head. That's the one thing heaven won't grant. Grandma, then I hope you won't hurt anymore. Grandma hugged me. Then Grandma hopes Lily studies hard. Education is the only way to succeed. Grandma's condition deteriorated rapidly. Painkillers stopped working. Only 4 morphine at home helped. She went from occasionally walking to being bedridden. After the holidays, everyone should have returned to work and school, but her 3 children stayed. Before I left for school, I overheard Uncle Robert and Aunt Patricia talking. Uncle Robert said, I checked. That deed is real. The mansion's worth over 10 million. And that bracelet alone is worth millions. Just wonder if she'll leave anything to Kevin's family. Aunt Patricia scoffed. That little brat Lily acts all sweet, saying she wants nothing. Just manipulating Mom. If you ask me, get rid of her quickly before Mom goes soft. Dad appeared behind me suddenly, slapping my shoulder. Hear that? Don't go to school yet. Stay and secure Mom's favor. Then our whole family's set. Your brother's future wife won't be a problem. Anger flared in me. I shook off his hand roughly. I'm not leaving, but not for money. I'm staying to protect Grandma. Even bedridden, you can't bully her. Uncle Robert and Aunt Patricia emerged, sneering. Right, wanting money but making excuses. The day finally came. Grandma was conscious less and less. Her children grew more anxious. Without a will, they feared. Grandma would leave everything to me, so they blocked my access to her. Then one day, Grandma suddenly seemed better, almost glowing with health. I knew this was the final rally before death. Grandma gathered us together and dictated her will to a lawyer. The Victorian mansion goes to Robert. He has the biggest family and most expenses. The location of the hidden antiques goes to Kevin. Kevin, be better to our Lily from now on. The remaining cash goes to Patricia. Patricia, your family's well off, so you get less. Uncle Robert barely contained his grin. Dad couldn't hide his excitement. Don't worry, Mom. Lily's my daughter. Of course. I'll treat her well. Only Aunt Patricia scowled. Why do I get the least? You're playing favorites. I knew I shouldn't have come back. What can a few $100,000 do? Then don't take it, Grandma said flatly. Aunt Patricia froze, then exploded. I can't not take it. I've been caring for you, you owe me. I want it. Grandma said nothing, just beckoned me over. Lily, come here. Grandma has nothing left for you. But remember Grandma's words, study hard, get good grades. Tears streamed down my face as I nodded hard. Grandma, I know. I'll study hard. Grandma looked at me gently one last time, then closed her eyes. I sobbed uncontrollably while her children argued over the inheritance, none noticing she'd already gone. Our tradition required children to observe 7 days of mourning. But Aunt Patricia left immediately due to the unfair distribution. Before leaving, she told me specifically, you're such an idiot. The old woman left you nothing and you're still crying. I always knew what she was. Good riddance. Sexist old bat. Disgusting. I glared through gritted teeth, then give back Grandma's money. Grandma's gone and you're still insulting her. You're not human. Aunt Patricia's eyes bulged, raising her hand to hit me. You little brat, I'm telling you, she should've died sooner. You think she protected you so I wouldn't dare hit you? Even if I beat you, your dad wouldn't say anything. Dad and Uncle Robert heard the commotion and returned. Both looked guilty and didn't dare confront Aunt Patricia. Uncle Robert even said while smoking, Lily, if your aunt wants to hit you, let her. Let her blow off steam. I almost laughed in rage. Why doesn't she hit you then? You're all the same, all trash. Uncle Robert moved to slap me, but suddenly wind blew the door into his path. His palm hit a protruding nail, puncturing his hand. He howled in pain. I sniffled, feeling the breeze dry my tears. Grandma was protecting me. I didn't blame her for leaving me nothing. Though I wondered why, I knew she had her reasons. After Grandma's death, the will took effect. Everyone gathered at a restaurant for dinner. Uncle Robert, 2 drinks in, said cheerfully, I've told my son to sell their current house. Our whole family's moving to San Francisco. The old woman did nothing useful her whole life. At least her death has value. Everyone laughed except me, silently sipping juice. Cousin Tyler complained, Grandma was so stingy. Only paid my car's down payment. I still have monthly payments. Uncle Robert consoled him, once we sell the mansion, Dad will buy you a luxury car. Tyler finally smiled, toasting Uncle Robert, thanks, Dad, for making me rich. Aunt Patricia scoffed, the inheritance should be redistributed. I did the most caregiving. Why do I get the least? The atmosphere chilled instantly. Dad slammed the table, what's your complaint? Our Lily cared for Mom longest and got nothing. Mom's giving you antiques worth millions when sold. What's your problem? Aunt Patricia slammed the table back. I still think it's unfair. Today you each give me $1 million, or we go to court. Let's see who's right. Uncle Robert pounded the table, you want to destroy family harmony? We've been more than generous with your hundreds of thousands. You're a married daughter. By rights, you deserve nothing. Aunt Patricia threw her wine glass at him. Who are you to say that? You mooched off Mom. For years, never worked, then dumped her when she got sick. You're the worst. Dad tried mediating, stop fighting. You're both unfilial. The most filial was my Lily. I think you should both give everything to us. Aunt Patricia sneered, the old woman only picked on the weak. Your daughter served her whole life for nothing. I stood up, gritting my teeth, my grandma wasn't like that. Fight if you want, but don't insult my grandma. So what if I do? Your grandma was a sexist old woman. And you're worthless too. Your dad won't give you a penny either. I immediately turned to Dad. Dad, when you sell the antiques, will you share with me? Dad's eyes shifted, rubbing his nose. Why think about that? When you get married, you'll have a dowry. Aunt Patricia gloated. See? You and I are both suckers. Gave the most, got the least. Uncle Robert smashed his glass. Who are you implying? Mom decided the amounts. If you're unhappy, go complain to her. Aunt Patricia hurled a plate at him. I'm telling you all, with me here, none of you will profit. Try selling anything, I'll destroy you. The restaurant erupted in chaos, food and spit flying. I lowered my head and slipped out. Outside, the moon shone bright. I remembered sleeping on the roof with Grandma, cicadas chirping as she read me stories by flashlight. Suddenly, I remembered something. Chapter 3. When Dad got home, he immediately hired people to dig where Grandma had indicated. They actually found several wooden crates. After authentication, they contained Ming Dynasty porcelain, exquisitely beautiful, worth at least $50 million. Dad nearly went crazy with joy. Before even selling the porcelain, he quit his job and took out loans for 2 houses. One for them, another for Marcus's future marriage. Dad said, Lily, you're a girl. You'll marry out. The husband will have a house. You don't need one. I said nothing, just buried myself in studying. No house, no house. I'll treat you exactly how well you treat me. When Mom tried to scold me, Dad stopped her. Leave her. With all this money, we need her for retirement. Uncle Robert's family had already sold their house, planning to move into the Victorian mansion as San Francisco aristocrats. He called Dad. Kevin, come visit us anytime. I'll show you around the city. Dad agreed excitedly, planning trips. I reminded him Grandma's memorial was coming up. We should visit her grave. Dad waved me off impatiently. Why bother? We're never going back anyway. Who are we burning incense for? Helplessly, I went alone. Only I burned incense. Only I discovered Grandma's secret. As Dad prepared to sell the antiques, police arrived. Someone reported your family for illegally possessing cultural artifacts. These belong to the state and must be surrendered. Dad's face went white, but he didn't dare refuse. He tried keeping one piece, but police found his hidden porcelain anyway. After they left, Dad deflated completely. Clutching his hair, disbelieving, how did they know? Someone must have reported us. Lily, was it you? Because I didn't buy you a house, you reported me? Dad grabbed my collar, eyes blazing. I calmly pulled free. Dad, why suspect me? What good would reporting do me? Besides, I didn't know how many antiques you had. Mom agreed, right, reporting you would affect her too. If you went to jail, she'd suffer. Maybe Robert or Patricia reported you. Just then, Uncle Robert called. Kevin, disaster. The old woman donated that Victorian to the city. Asking further, someone had come to the mansion saying Grandma had already donated it to the City Historical Society. Being near several landmarks, the Victorian was incredibly valuable. Uncle Robert rushed to our house, much thinner, shaking Dad. Kevin, what do we do? I promised my son and daughter-in-law a San Francisco house. If we can't deliver, she'll divorce him. Dad said irritably, what can I do? I used all my money for down payments. I can barely make mortgage payments. Who knows which bastard reported the antiques? Uncle Robert gritted his teeth. The old woman tricked us. But she couldn't have done it alone. There's only one person. The family rushed to confront Aunt Patricia. Dad insisted I come. Your grandma loved you most. Her antiques are gonna. Can't you show some concern, have some conscience? I pursed my lips. Grandma did truly love me. But I wasn't telling them the truth yet. Aunt Patricia didn't know what happened. Dad kicked her immediately. Patricia, I didn't know you were so black-hearted, so jealous of your brothers. Aunt Patricia was confused, then jumped up scratching him. What nonsense. You got the house and antiques. What more do you want? Uncle Robert separated them. The house was donated, antiques confiscated. Only you got money. What do you think we want? After explaining, Aunt Patricia finally understood. She burst out laughing. I knew the old woman held something back. Didn't expect her to scheme even after death. Uncle Robert's face darkened. I don't care. You split that $500,000. With me. No way. Mom gave it to me. I won't give you a penny. Dad raged, then split with me. You must have reported the antiques. Aunt Patricia spread her hands. Wasn't me. Who knows who reported them? As another fight brewed, Uncle Robert's eyes gleamed. Remember Mom's jade bracelet? It was buried with her. Worth millions too. I froze. For money, they'd dig up Grandma's grave. Dad and Aunt Patricia hesitated briefly, then agreed. Dead is dead, money is for the living. They hired an excavator for a midnight grave robbery. I stood before the machine, arms spread. Face red with fury. I'm warning you while I'm here, no one touches Grandma's grave. Dad kicked me, face black, get lost. Without money, I'll die paying these mortgages. Aunt Patricia crossed her arms disdainfully. What an idiot. Still filial when she left you nothing. Uncle Robert said impatiently, drag her away. Don't delay business. I struggled up, throwing rocks at them. Grandma's barely cold and you're robbing her grave. You deserve poverty forever. Shameless, heartless monsters. That's your mother. For money, have you lost all humanity? Dad snarled, covering his injured eye. What use is humanity or conscience? Without money, you can't even afford college. Stop talking to the kid. Driver, dig. We paid you. The excavator operator looked at us hesitantly. I wiped my face and pulled out a bracelet. Don't dig. I have the bracelet. I took it while keeping vigil. Everyone froze. Dad, closest to me, lunged forward. You brat, why didn't you say so earlier? But I raised my hand and smashed the bracelet against a rock. The jade shattered into pieces. But now, it belongs to no one. Uncle Robert and Aunt Patricia dug for the fragments, wailing, do you know how much that was worth? Millions gone. Dad. Slapped me twice, stupid girl, worthless thing. You'll pay me back these millions. Uncle Robert glared at us through gritted teeth, don't think breaking the bracelet ends this. Who knows if yours was real? Today I'm digging her up. Their shamelessness nearly made me faint with rage. Uncle Robert, if you dare dig up my grandma today, tomorrow I'll go to Tyler's workplace. I'll make sure your family can't show their faces. Same for you, Aunt Patricia. Touch that grave and I'll go to your in-laws, your husband. I'll make their lives hell. Dad, don't think being unemployed means I can't. Threaten you. Dig today and I'll tell all your friends and brothers what an unfilial son you are. I lay across Grandma's grave, blocking them. I also told the operator, sir, please leave. Don't you know grave robbing brings terrible karma? The operator muttered about meeting a bunch of lunatics. But while no one was asking for refunds, he quickly left. After they left cursing, I finally cried out loud. Grandma, I listened. I studied hard. But I'm going abroad soon. I won't be able to visit often. Wind rustled leaves across my face, like Grandma's comfort. The study abroad application went smoothly. I was leaving tomorrow. The family had long cut off my allowance. Dad, Uncle Robert, and Aunt Patricia still fought constantly. Aunt Patricia refused to share money. Uncle Robert and Dad demanded equal splits. They turned their attention to me, sending Mom to probe. Lily, did your grandma really leave you nothing? She loved you so much. Seems wrong. Looking at Mom's calculating expression, I smiled. Mom, what do you think? What would Grandma leave me? Must have left you some money. How else have you survived without allowance? So that's why they cut me off. I said flatly, you forgot. My school offers student loans. Mom exploded, loans? What loans? We have no money to pay back loans. No need. Because Grandma did leave me an inheritance, just hidden specially. When I visited the grave alone, I found an old storybook under her bed at the old house. The childhood book of fairy tales Grandma read to me contained her real gift. She wanted me to study hard, not just literally, but as a hint to find that book. The book had been hollowed out, containing a pair of jade bracelets and a phone number. I called. The lawyer answered. Miss Lily Harrison. I confirmed. The lawyer continued politely, Mrs. Dorothy established an account in your name years ago, depositing approximately $20 million over time. You can access it anytime. How did you know I'd call? The lawyer chuckled. Mrs. Dorothy said her granddaughter was smart and would find this number. Besides, even if you hadn't called, the bank would have notified you. Technically this isn't inheritance, she gifted it while alive. No one can take it. My nose stung as I thanked the lawyer. The jade bracelets Grandma wore one but fought her pain to leave both for me. Grandma had calculated everything. She donated the house while alive. As for the antiques, she'd arranged for the lawyer to report them after her death. Unworthy descendants deserved nothing. But fearing giving me everything would bring me trouble and danger, she left me enough wealth, then donated the rest to the state. Before hanging up, the lawyer reminded me kindly, Mrs. Dorothy also said to spend this money only on yourself. If you have troubles, contact me anytime. She's already paid all legal fees. I covered my face, sobbing uncontrollably. Even gone, she still worried about me. Chapter 4. Studying abroad, my phone often rang at midnight. Sometimes family called. My parents had gotten my information from school, threatening me to return. Dad cursed, I knew that old woman left you money. You think it's yours? That money includes my share. You must pay off my mortgages, or I'll disown you. I sat by the floor-to-ceiling windows, admiring the view outside. Do as you like. How you treated Grandma, I'll treat you the same. When you're sick, should I dump you in the countryside too? Dad cursed furiously. Mom lost patience too, accusing me of being unfilial. They united with Uncle Robert and Aunt Patricia to harass me, demanding I return Grandma's money. I simply blocked everyone and sent the call recordings and chat logs to the lawyer. Grandma had paid enough legal fees anyway. If they dared insult Grandma or harass me, the lawyer would sue. My phone stayed quiet for a long time. A year later, on Grandma's death anniversary, I secretly returned to visit her grave. Dad and the others blocked me, demanding answers. Lily, doesn't your conscience hurt taking all that money? Is it even yours? I put on sunglasses and smiled, snapping my fingers. Several suited bodyguards appeared behind me. Sorry, but the money really is mine. Anyone who tries to stop me today will regret it. They cowered immediately. After I finished paying respects and prepared to leave, they tried schmoozing again. Lily, don't go. Come home for dinner. We can discuss money later. Sorry, I have a flight to catch. The end.